When Rabbi Green asked me to share the Devar Torah I had written for my B'nai Mitzvah 4 years ago at this Shabbat Shuvah service, I was both honored and surprised. Honored to be asked, and surprised that she even remembered it. Although in rereading it, I saw how pertinent to the topic of choosing life, or in my case, choosing the right life, it still is. So here is what I said 4 years ago that still resonates so strongly today. Many years ago, I saw a film that you may or may not remember. One True Thing starred Meryl Streep as a Martha Stewart-like mother living in a picture-perfect Victorian home in Connecticut when she's diagnosed with incurable cancer, and her self-absorbed, career-obsessed daughter, Renee Zellweger, is forced to leave her job in the big city and come home to care for her dying mother. Interestingly, I found myself relating to the plight of this unsympathetic, selfish daughter. You see, the Zellweger character had sacrificed almost all of her relationships at the expense of her career, which had become the true measure of her worth. Was this self-absorbed woman me? Of course, I would come to the aid of my own mother in time of need without having to be asked. But how many football games or recitals or family dinners had I missed over the years because my own career had taken precedence? Because the need to have that picture-perfect home and the nice cars and the lavish vacations ultimately became more important than the actual time I was logging in with my husband and children. Having things became even more consuming when we moved to Lake Forest, and conspicuous consumption was at the heart of this community's mantra. How fitting that of all the towns we could have picked, I chose Lake Forest, the poster child of mine is bigger than yours. After many years of striving to be the very best at what my occupation demanded and achieving the earning power necessary to fund my materialism, the years of job-related stress took its toll and I got sick, forcing me to reevaluate everything I had ever thought was important. It was at this time I began to re-examine my relationship to God and Judaism and made the decision to learn to read Hebrew and study Torah for the first time in my life, hence the decision to become an adult B'nai Mitzvah at the age of 58. Writing this Devar using Exodus 20:14, "You shall not covet," as the theme was yet another milestone in the decision to choose the right life. Upon leaving that movie theater now over 20 years ago, an usher was handing out promotional posters for the film, and I took a couple, thinking the kids might one day like a real movie poster to hang in their room. I unrolled it when I got home and immediately noticed there in the lower right-hand corner of the poster, tucked under the film's title, almost as an afterthought, was a simple message: love what you have, period. It hit me like a ton of bricks. As Oprah would say, that was my light bulb moment. I actually cut out that prophetic phrase and had it framed, where it hangs today as one of my most cherished possessions, in my now much smaller kitchen, in my much smaller house, no longer in Lake Forest, where I see it as a daily reminder that the true measure of the person is not in what they have, but in who they love. "You shall not covet" has taken me a lifetime to fully understand and actually observe, but once embraced, has provided more comfort, peace, and joy than I ever thought possible. And it reminds me each and every day in my quest to choose that right life, to always and simply love what you have.